Morning. Today is Super Tuesday, March 3rd, 2020. I'd like to call to order the meeting of the Human Resources, Appointment, and Equity Committee. Council Clerk, will you please call the roll?
Calling the roll, Ms. Brown.
Yes, here.
Mr. Gallagher. Mr. Gallagher is absent. Mr. Jones.
Here.
Mr. Miller.
Here.
Ms. Conwell.
Present.
There is a quorum.
Excellent. Do we have any public comment, Madam Clerk?
No, Madam Chair, no one is signed down.
All right, thank you. Those of us should have had an opportunity to review the minutes from the February 4th, 2020 meeting, so I will make a motion to approve those minutes. Do I have a second?
Second.
It's been moved in second. If there are no questions, comments, or concerns, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All right, Council Clerk, if you read the first item into the record, please.
Resolution number 2020-0051, confirming the county executive's reappointment of the Honorable Michael S. Prosick to serve on the Cuyahoga County Planning Commission, representing the Cuyahoga region for the term 3/25/2020 through 3/24/2023.
All right. I'm going to turn it over to Director Pomerantz. If you'll give us a little bit of background, please.
Sure. Thank you, Councilwoman. Pursuant to Ohio Revised Code Section 713.22, on behalf of County Executive Armin Budish, we are pleased to nominate the following individual for reappointment to the Cuyahoga County Planning Commission: Mayor Mike S. Prosick, 3-year term, 3/25/2020 till 3/24/2023. The 11-member County Planning Commission is structured and established through the Ohio Revised Code and is comprised of 3 county representatives and 8 representatives from the county's planning regions who are appointed by the county executive, except for the City of Cleveland representative who is appointed by Mayor of Cleveland. Mayor Prosick is here today, and please let us know if there are any other questions.
Open it up to my colleagues for questions for the Director. If there are none, Mayor Prosick, if you'll please step forward, state your name for the record, give us a little bit of your background and why you'd like to continue to serve. I also like to note that I do have the privilege of serving with the mayor on the Planning Commission. So,
Madam Chair, but I'm just going to call you Chantel. And I know we're not allowed to hug anymore because of Corona and everything else. But normally I would, and you know that. It's a privilege to serve on the Planning Commission. I just saw, Sean just showed me that I've been on 18 years. I didn't know that. I knew it had been for a very long time. I believe I took the baton from Mayor Ruby in Brecksville back in the day, but I've survived through the change in county government. It's noted on there that I actually served as chair of the Planning Commission 1 year. Forever, a county commissioner chaired that committee, and a mayor usually served as the vice chair. And that was Tom Longo from Garfield Heights for many years. I'm sure there's people in the room that remember Tom. When the county government changed, things were kind of up in the air, and I was the vice chair at that time, so I actually did serve a year as chairman, and I guess that's a distinction, and I didn't take my duties lightly, especially in those changing times. But I enjoy the work. I enjoy being involved in the county. I'm a firm believer that even though I represent 1,550 residents in a very small village, that Northeast Ohio goes as one big bus, because I know Jose's here from the RTA, so I'll plug him. But it's very important, and it's a privilege and an honor to help the county continue to move forward with the Planning Commission work. So thank you very much, and I'll stand for any other questions.
I just want to thank you for your dedication and your willingness to continue to serve in this capacity. And having the privilege of working with you, it is demonstrative of your knowledge and your wisdom that you provide to the organization. So I am pleased with the executive's nomination for reappointing you. So with that said, I'll open it up to my colleagues if there are any questions for the mayor. I'll start with Councilman Jones and then Councilwoman Conwell.
Thank you, Madam Chair. And again, thank you for your 18 years of service. I think with just a simple question, over 18 years, share with us how your time on the board has been beneficial not only to the county but to your city in particular.
My city, I guess I'm up to speed on grant funding when it becomes available and it's announced. So I guess that I've appreciated working with the commission. I'm currently revising my master plan through a grant. We took advantage of the urban revitalization of the trees. I was a proponent of the, helped Mr. Gilbert when we brought casino gambling to the state of Ohio. And from that committee, then I kind of helped push Sonny along the way to get our hands on some of those funds. And we benefited from that grant as well as many other communities. But mostly, again, it's just staying involved with the shakers and movers in Cuyahoga County. Not only my community, but all of the suburbs.
Okay, thank you.
Councilwoman Conwell.
Thank you, Madam Chair. To the mayor, is there any specific direction you would like to see the Planning Commission going?
No, I think they're on the right track. We've gotten more involved over the years with offering services and hire outs and stuff for the communities, and I think that will continue to build on. County planning, I've always had the passion, and I know there's very little that the Planning Commission can do, but I'll still put it out there. I believe that the Cuyahoga Valley Scenic Railroad should have a terminus all the way up by Windy Park. We've been battling that. I've served on many committees over the years, but I think that would put Cleveland and our lakefront on the map, and I don't see anything wrong with people from New Philadelphia, Ohio, being able to jump on a train to come up for a ball game or a play or anything else as the next generation of the lakefront continues to evolve. So,
You stated earlier you have firsthand knowledge of grants. How do you market to those not on the commission that might not have firsthand knowledge?
Through the Cuyahoga County Mayors and Managers Association and the Northeast Ohio Mayors and Managers Association, I went through the chairs on the Cuyahoga County Mayors and Managers Association and served. I'm the immediate past president still. So I served as a president, so that communication gets out readily.
Okay, thank you.
And I'd also like the record to reflect that the Executive Director, Sean Leninger, is here to, if we have any additional questions, so relative to the Planning Commission. Councilman Miller, do you have any questions?
I do that.
All right. Okay, well, Mayor, I am, again, very pleased to continue to be able to work with you in this capacity, and I appreciate you coming out and sharing with us firsthand your experience as well as your desire to continue to serve in this capacity. So with that said, I will make the motion to move this to the full body of the council under second reading suspension. Do I have a second?
Second?
It's been moved in second. If there are no further questions, comments, or concerns, all in favor, please say aye. Aye. This will move to the full body of the council. Thank you so much for coming down, Mayor.
Thank you very much, Chantel. Am I excused? Because
Yes,
I
you
wanted
are
to speak with Sean for a bit.
Yes, you absolutely. You're
Thank you all.
excused. I'm going to take a point of personal privilege and ask for the clerk to read item D into the record.
Resolution number 2020-0054, confirming the county executive's appointment of Salvatore Tallarico to serve on the Cuyahoga County Audit Committee for an unexpired term ending 12/31/2023.
And turn this over again to Director Pomerantz, if you'll give us a little bit of background.
Thank you, Chair. Pursuant to Article 11 of Section 11.01 of the Charter, and on behalf of the County Executive Armand Budish, we are pleased to submit the following nominee for appointment to Cuyahoga County Audit Committee: Salvatore Tallarico, for an unexpired term ending 12/31/2023, and replacing Gary Shamus, whose term ended 12/31/2019. The Charter broadly stipulates that the Audit Committee shall provide internal auditing in order to assist the county in providing the taxpayers with efficient and effective services, and also directs the functioning of the county's Department of Internal Auditing. This committee is comprised of 5 voting members. 4 members are appointed by the county executive, with the president of county council or a member of council appointed by the president serving as the 5th voting member. The 4 members appointed by the county executive shall be residents of the county who have experience in the field of auditing, accounting, government operations, or financial reporting. And we are pleased to say that Mr. Tallarico is here today in the audience.
Thank you.
Well.
Thank you very much. Colleagues, do you have any questions for the director? If there are none, I'll ask Mr. Tallarico to please step forward, state your name for the record. Good morning, and I also want to recognize the reason we did go out of sequence today is because Mr. Tallarico had another engagement, so we want to be mindful of his time. So if you'll give us a little bit of your background and a brief summary of why you would like to serve in this capacity.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I wish I'd known you as well as the mayor so I could call you Chantel, but Thank you for having me here today. And I'm glad the mayor went first because I'm not certain of the protocol here, so I was taking mental notes. So thank you for having me here. My name is Sal Tallarico. I'm the finance director for the city of Oberlin. I've been with Oberlin for almost 20 years. In Oberlin, the finance director handles all the financial management, debt, investments, payroll, finance, utility billing, and I could go on. We do handle a lot in our office, and we also are a full-service city. We have a municipal water system, we have a wastewater system, we have an electric system, and we also host the municipal court and, of course, the home of Oberlin College. Before City of Oberlin, I was with the City of Parma for 7 years as the deputy auditor, and prior to that, I was in the private industry, and I worked as an internal auditor for Sherwin-Williams, Ameritrust, and Sterling Incorporated. Sterling is in Fairlawn. It's an interesting story. When I was working for Ameritrust, this was part of the Ameritrust building. You've done really nice with the place. This building was the corporate trust offices, and the tower was the headquarters, the rotunda was the branch, and the 1010 building was one of the operations center. The internal audit division was on the 7th floor, and that's where I worked. But all these buildings were interconnected, and we audited all the divisions, including the operations center out in Tiedemann. So it's really nice what has happened with all the buildings here. So I think that's a quick recap. I did grow up in Cleveland, not far from Metro General. I went to school, Catholic school for elementary school, and then Thomas Jefferson for 9th grade, and then Lincoln West for high school. And then I went to Cleveland State. So if there's any questions, I'm happy to answer them for you.
All right, well, thank you for giving us your background, and welcome back to the area, I guess. One of the things that you touched on was your experience. You bring a lot of experience to the position. Do you have any ideas or recommendations that you might consider as a new member?
Well, initially, I'm going to try to absorb what the committee does. I've, of course, read the description in the charter and online and took a look at all their minutes. So I'm going to try to absorb from the other members, at least initially. And I have a lot of experience in serving on other boards, and so I'm hoping to ask relevant questions that maybe will encourage some thought, at least initially. And of course, I believe my experience in auditing and finance will help considerably in ensuring that the internal audit division is moving forward properly. Although, from what I've read, it sounds like you have very good qualified people in that position.
I second that. And one of the questions that we like to ask of our new appointments is, how did you learn about the position?
So I got a call from Michelle,
Okay.
and I was happy to give her a call back and find out more, and here I am.
All right. Good. So I'll open it up to my colleagues. Do you have any questions? Councilman Miller, we'll start with you.
So, Madam Chair, Mr. Tallarico, thank you very much for volunteering to serve on this very important position. And where do you currently reside?
I live in the city of Parma right now.
Okay.
Yeah.
And are you aware that the internal auditing, the state external audit, the inspector general's office, the prosecutor's office, and the county council all have various roles in the oversight process and have to work together?
Well, I would presume it'd be no different than any other government entity where in Oberlin it's the law director, who also serves as the prosecutor, city manager, council members, all the department heads. We all have to work together. And at the end of the day, we all have to work as one. I agree. because otherwise good government isn't served if we don't.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions? No? Well, again, thank you for your willingness to serve in this capacity and coming before this body today. It is greatly appreciated when the candidates take the time out of their schedules to come before us. It is our honor and privilege to be able to put a face with the name and the bios that come before us. So with that said, if there are no additional questions, comments, or concerns, I'll make the motion to move this to the full body of the council under second reading suspension, I'm presuming.
Yes, please, if
All right.
possible. Thank
All
you.
right, all right, it's been moved in second. If there are no additional questions, comments, or concerns, all in favor, please say aye. Aye. All right, thank you very much for coming down today.
Thank you, Madam Chair.
All right.
And
We will
as, can I be excused as well?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, thank you.
Madam
Nice
Chair.
to meet you.
Yes,
I-
thank you.
I'd just like to add one other comment, which is don't hold back. You know, when you see problems, bring them to us. That's what the audit department is here for, and the audit department has already uncovered significant problems that we've dealt with. The idea of the new government is not that we're going to ever eliminate all the problems. The idea of the new government is that we're going to have close oversight, that we're going to uncover problems quickly and deal with them effectively. And so we want you to dig in and let us know whenever you see anything that isn't right. And we support that effort. Thank you.
I think
Thank you.
all of the colleagues would agree, and as well as the members of the council that are not present. So you do have a supportive arm of government here ready to assist. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Madam Chair.
All right. Council Clerk, if you will proceed with the item B.
Resolution number 2020-0052, confirming the county executive's reappointment of Terrence P. Joyce to serve on the Greater Cleveland Regional Transit Authority Board of Trustees for the term 3/4/2020 through 3/3/2023.
All right, thank you. Thank you very much, Madam Clerk. I'll turn it over to the director if you'll give us a little bit of background, please.
Yes, Greater Cleveland Regional Transit Authority Board of Trustees, we are seeking on behalf of the county executive for a 3-year reappointment of Terrence P. Joyce for the dates of 3/4/2020 to 3/3/2023. Mr. Joyce could not be here today, but he did submit a letter. We do have one of the directors of RTA, Jose Feliciano, here to speak on his behalf if there are questions. And wanted to remind the members of this committee that there are 3 appointments that are under the county executive, and Terrence P. Joyce and Karen Moss are 2 of those appointments that fit into the requirement of being a resident of the city of Cleveland. So let me rephrase that. There are 3 appointments that have to be members of the city of Cleveland, and the Cuyahoga County executive has 2 of those. One of them is Mr. Joyce being considered today, and the other is Karen Moss, who fulfilled this requirement.
All right, and when you say members, residents of the city? Residents of the city of Cleveland?
Correct.
All right, okay. Any other questions for the director from my colleagues? All right, there being none, we have before us a letter that was submitted by Mr. Joyce, and I think probably the majority of us are quite familiar with Mr. Joyce. He has been a long-time serving member of the community, leading the labor union. And today I understand they have an RTA meeting, which is part of the reason, or which is the reason that he was unable to make it today. As Ms. Pomerantz indicated, Mr. Feliciano is present. So if there are any questions regarding his reappointment, I'll ask if you will let us know now, and we can present them to Mr. Feliciano. No? All right, thank you very much, and thank you for coming. If you care to step up and speak to for Mr. Joyce, or share anything that you'd like to for us to hear as it relates to Mr. Joyce and the RTA, you can take that privilege now.
Good morning. Thank you, Madam Chair, for the opportunity. I just wanted to thank County Council for the appointment of all three of the members that serve on our board. They all contribute in impactful ways and provide great support to the staff.
Well, thank you very much, and thank you for making yourself available this morning. Again, that is very, very much appreciated in the absence of Mr. Joyce actually serving in his official capacity today. So with that said, I will make the motion to move this to the full body of the council, and we'll make this motion under second reading suspension also. Do I have a second?
Second.
It's been moved in second. If there are no additional questions, comments, or concerns, all in favor, please say aye. Aye. All right, and you are free to go unless you like
Thank
to
you.
say.
I
Oh,
do have
one question.
Are you a resident of the county? And
Is Mr. Joyce? Or
yes, is he a resident of the
yeah,
county?
he's actually a resident of the city of Cleveland. That's one of the prerequisites, if I understood Director Pomerantz, for being appointed to this position.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much. Council Clerk, if you read the next item into the record, please.
Resolution number 2020-0053, confirming the county executive's reappointment of Cheryl King Benford to serve on the Cuyahoga County Law Library Resources Board for the term 1/1/2020 through 12/31/2024.
All right, and I'll turn it over to Director Pomerantz if you'll give us a little bit of background, please.
Yes, the Cuyahoga County Law Library Resources Board has been established through the Ohio Revised Code, Chapter 307, and on behalf of County Executive, we're pleased to nominate the following for reappointment to the Cuyahoga County Library Resources Board: Cheryl King Benford, Esquire, a 5-year term, 1/1/2020 to 12/31/2024. The Law Library Resources Board is composed of 5 members who serve 5-year terms. These members serve without compensation and are eligible for reappointment. 2 board members are appointed by Cuyahoga County, 1 by the county prosecutor, 1 by the common pleas, and 1 by the municipal courts. This body is responsible for the maintenance of our county law library and the hiring of necessary personnel to support the library's operations. Additionally, this board manages coordination, acquisition, utilization of legal resources throughout Cuyahoga County, including providing legal research, reference assistance, and other library services to Cuyahoga County residents. Ms. King Bedford also works for the Greater Cleveland RTA and is at the meeting that Terry Joyce is also at, helping to serve as her day-to-day function as the one of the attorneys supporting the RTA. In her absence, though, she did submit a letter, and Ms. Kathy Dugan is here as the executive director from the Cuyahoga County Law Library to help speak on her behalf as well.
Thank you very much. If you could share with us how long Ms. Benford has served in her current capacity.
She has served for the past 5 years, and I think this is I think it's her first reappointment, her second reappointment. So.
Okay, and Ms. Dugan, if you would please step forward, maybe you
Thank
can
you.
give us a little bit of background as well, and maybe share with us your contribution and support for Ms. King King Benford in her absence.
Good morning, Madam Chair
Good
and
morning.
members of the committee. I'm Kathy Dugan. I'm the director of the County Law Library. I've been there for 17 years, and Cheryl has been serving with us since 2009. When our chair left to go to another state, Cheryl stepped into the position of chair. She's been a model chair. We do have joint meetings with another law library association that helps to run the county law library. And Cheryl often chairs those meetings. She is very supportive of our initiatives regarding ebooks, grant funding, and service to the public, service to the county agencies. And her experience is really broad because we do a lot of educational programming as well. And she's been a teacher, a principal, a law director, and then she works for RTA, which is a quasi-governmental entity. So she really brings a lot to the table that helps me. You know, I direct the everyday, and she's very supportive of everything that I want to do.
Excellent. Thank you very much. So with that said, I'll open it up to my colleagues if there are any questions for Ms. Dugan with regards to Ms. Cheryl King Benford. I'll start with Councilwoman Conwell.
Through the chair to Ms. Dugan, is there any needs that the law library has shared with the administration that hasn't solved? I know a couple years back, I believe there were some requests from the law library, and I haven't been over there in a while. Just wanted to know if there's Everything
I
is
can't think of
copacetic.
anything right now. We've had some recent renovations to the facility, which they took care of for us. We are celebrating our 150th anniversary this year, so it's a momentous occasion. They are allowing us to use the rotunda for a reception, and they're going to be doing some special cleaning. We could use some capital improvements to our electrical systems, which I have requested for years, many years ago. But we did create a new technology center in space that was historically used for CD-ROM research. And they did help us a little bit with the renovations for that. So we are working with our existing space to make our technology work for us.
And has, you said electrical improvements, has that been
Yes.
given to Public Works?
It was submitted to Public Works through, who is the chair, the department head of Public Works? I'm drawing a blank on his name.
Mike Dever.
Chambers just moved positions.
That's not who I submitted it to. I'm sorry for the apology for not remembering the name, but it's a historic building. It's over 100 years old, and our main reading room has plugs on the floor at just a few workstations. And so what we did is we bought some corded charging ports, put them on the desks, but there are only plugs in a few places. Even the cleaning crew complains they don't know where to plug in to vacuum. So that would be something that would be very helpful to, retrofit the main room for
When was
that.
that request put in?
It has been pending at least 6 years,
Okay.
at least. But I understand that capital improvements are hard to fund. So we've been very patient and worked in other ways.
Okay. Thank you. I may have a follow-up.
Sir.
Well, we'll go to Councilman Miller.
Madam Chair, how many people serve on the Law Library Resources Board, and how are they appointed?
5. 2 are appointed technically by the county commissioners, and so that has devolved to the new government system. 1 are appointed by a committee of the Common Pleas Court. 1 are appointed by a committee of the municipal courts within Cuyahoga County. And then the other is, you read it at the beginning,
Prosecutor's
office.
Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. With regards to some of the challenges you've been facing with some of the capital improvements, does the library apply for any grant funding?
We do. I am
Okay.
very aggressive at getting grants. There is an umbrella organization called the Consortium of County Law Libraries, which sits above all the county law libraries in Ohio. And almost every single year, I apply for grant funding. We have gotten a public access full standing kiosk most recently, audiovisual equipment. The new technology tables I got from a grant from the Ohio State Library, LSTA Technology Fund. I got a grant the other day from the Northern District of Ohio Attorney Admissions Fund for a retractable wall-mounted projection screen for our new technology center. Yes, I am very aggressive.
Well, that certainly, I'm sure, pleases the body as much as it pleases me. I hope that is the case.
If the
And
grant
it's-
process could be expedited, it would be great.
Well, it sounds like you're not only applying, but you're successful at winning those grants. So continued luck
Yes.
with that. And it sounds like you have piqued my colleague's interest relative to the capital improvements, and she can be very tenacious with that. So I'll leave her in charge of assisting or supporting you in whatever endeavors that may include. And if there are no additional questions, comments,
I have
or
one
concerns,
question.
yes, Councilman Miller.
What is your
Jones?
what is your biennial budget? What is your budget for?
It's pretty low. We receive only statutory funding from fines and penalties, from traffic citations. We don't get seatbelt revenue. We get some of our revenue streams. There are 4 different subparts of the statute that we receive revenue under, and some of them have caps, statutory caps. So my budget last year, I think I had $540,000 to work with to hire 3 staff, buy books and databases, and provide programming and service.
Okay, thank you.
And is that staff full-time or part-time or a
I have 3
mixture?
full-time staff.
You do? All right. Well, you certainly know how to stretch a dollar.
We do.
Ms. Dixon. So-
My motto is cheap or free.
All right. Are there any other questions from my colleagues? Councilwoman Conwell.
Through the chair to Ms. Dugan, can you let us know when the celebration for the 150 years?
Yes, on our law library website, clevelandlawlibrary.org, we have posted all of the information related to our celebration. It is, the big celebration is on April 23rd, and there's a link on the bottom of the page to register and pay for attendance. There is a discount for attending both events for anyone who is a statutory member, which includes all of you. So just call for the discount codes if you want to attend both events. And there are also additional information posted about the 150th, trivia, oral histories we've been collecting, you name it. And I'm finalizing a 150th anniversary booklet that's 100 pages long. So we are very proud this year.
Thank you.
Certainly was a privilege and a pleasure to have you before us today. I think we got way more than we bargained for, so I am happy to say that. I say that with tremendous respect. So again, I'll open it up one last time. If there are no further questions or comments from my colleagues, then I'll move this to the full body of the council under second reading suspension. Is there a second?
Second.
All right, it's been moved in second. If there are no additional questions, comments, or concerns, all in favor, please say aye. Aye.
Aye.
All right, thank you.
One final question. Was
Yeah.
that 540 over 2 years or annually?
Annually. It has varied. Approximately 10 years to 15 years ago, we received approximately $100,000 more, and that was because we received state traffic highway fines. Problem is, there have been changes in the enforcement by the State Highway Patrol in Cuyahoga County, which have significantly reduced that portion of revenue that we receive.
Okay, thank you.
Yes. Sure. Thank you all. I'll let Cheryl know, and will she need to attend the council meeting?
That's generally not a requirement, so
Okay.
no, yes.
Okay.
Thank you for
Thank
your,
you.
thank you for your presence and your willingness to stand in the gap for her today. All right, is there any miscellaneous business from the committee? There being none, this meeting is adjourned. Thank you all.